Hey, it's Drew Bentley here with Learn Guitar with Drew. Today we're going to take a look at what is a key of music. I've been asked this question, maybe one of the most asked questions for guitar lessons for all these years, and we're going to take a look at exactly what that is and how you can use that in your playing and your writing and use it all over the fretboard, and eventually you can own the key and wail on your guitar. But first, thanks so much for checking out the video. My name is Drew Bentley. The channel is Learn Guitar with Drew. If you like what you're seeing here, please hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. In the comment section down below, there's tons of resources for different things. Okay, so let's take a look at what a key of music is, and we'll dive right in. So we're starting with the first chord here, and the key of C is a C chord. We have D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, a B diminished, and back to a C. Okay, so what we just did there is we played 7 chords that all started on the notes of the C major scale, and we built a chord on each one of those notes, and that's how it works. It's called the harmonized scale. Okay, sounds kind of fancy, but it's not really that hard to conceptualize. We have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Or in the first position. So you probably have played that scale before and seen that scale before. So if you were a piano student starting out, you would play the white keys first. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing here. We're starting in the key of C. There are no sharps or flats, so it's easy to conceptualize. It's easy to make sense of it, and we can then take this stuff here, these concepts, and apply those to all of the different major keys with the circle of fifths. Using the circle of fifths, we can arrive upon all the keys, but let's start with the key of C first. So what we're doing is we're basically playing a triad. In this case, it's do, mi, sol, mi, do. So you can hear that. Those are the chords. I'm building triads on each one of the notes. And that's what the chord family is. That's how it works. It's like a family of chords that all work together. And of the, I don't know, 60 million songs that are on Spotify, so they say, which is absolutely mind-boggling, I would hazard to guess that a good giant portion of those songs is kind of following this idea here where things are staying within the key. So we have the one chord in the key. It's called the tonic, and it's a major chord. The 2 chord in the key is called the supertonic, and it's minor. 3 chord is called the mediant, it's minor. 4 chord is called the subdominant, it's major. 5 chord is called the dominant, it's major. 6 chord is called the submediant, it's minor. 7 chord is called the leading tone, it's diminished, and back to the 1 chord again. So what are those fancy names? That's Roman numeral analysis. Like if you were doing like classical music studies or composing and classical music, we would use Roman numerals, and we would call those chords by those kind of fancy names. In the modern world, in the Nashville system, they're just numbers, right? So if you were playing in a Nashville session and somebody screamed out to you, hey, the song's in the key of A, it's 1, 4, 5. You need to be able to go, okay, 1, 4, 5, and be able to know those notes off by heart. That's kind of what we're doing here. Okay, keep in mind that the notes within this chords are a different sort of system. It's like the macro and the micro. The chords within the key have numbers, but then the notes within the chords have numbers as well. Right now we're taking a look at how these chords translate within a key. So the 1 chord is major, right? So we have the 1 chord and the 4 chord and a 5 chord that are major in triads. They're called the primary chords. 1, 4, 5, 1. So that would be a whole bunch of songs that do that. A lot of your blues songs do that. You know, Lonely has a first name, that's how I say. Lonely has a second name, that's tell me what you know. Love to read it every day, and if you ask me what I'll say. Oscar Mayer has a way of B-O-L-O-G-N-A. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for using that song. But that's just an example of a 1, 4, 5 little jingle that they came up with. And you can see how those chords all work together. So the primary chords, super important, like primary colors. we also have secondary chords. D minor is the 2 chord, E minor is the 3 chord, and A minor is the 6 chord. So those secondary chords come into play with other chord progressions that are popular, like jazz tunes and oldies tunes and a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to have a series of lessons on this little thread here about how to use those different chord progressions and create music on your own, and also understand the music that you're learning, so you can begin to recognize what a 1 chord is and a 2 chord and a 4 chord, or something in a key of music. I should say that we're not always going to stay in one key of music. A lot of tunes modulate to different keys. There's all kinds of little trickery things that happen. Those things make music really cool. When you kind of bend the rules or even break the rules a little bit, you can make some really cool stuff happen. We all do it when we write songs. We don't just stay in this formula, but you have to understand this first before you can kind of bend the rules or break the rules. You have to know the rules. Okay, so it's not really rules though, just kind of the theory of how it all works. Like music theory is like a strong suggestion. This has worked before, so you probably should do it this way. You're most likely going to experience some success if you do that. That's why we do what has been done for a very long time. Much music is very formulaic. It doesn't make it bad. It actually works. That's kind of why we do it. The organization makes sense. 1, 2 is D minor, 3 is E minor in the key, 4 chord is F, 5 chord is G, 6 chord is A minor, and then this diminished chord, it's its own little thing here. There's diminished chords and augmented chords. That's kind of another subject as well, but they're not major or minor. They're diminished. They have all minor thirds. So that's a different animal. Now the diminished chord and the dominant 7th chord, which is the 5 chord, they're kind of the same. So just the 5 and the 7 are kind of the same. So you can sort of mix and match chords. The 1 and 3 are kind of the same. That's for other lessons too, to substitute other chords. Just kind of know that this whole family is all interlaced with itself. The chords like this, called the harmonized scale, they all work like this. The modes, which we're going to get into in a different lesson, they all work like this. Everything is a big family that works together. And that's what a key is. So once you learn how to maneuver the key of C, then go through the circle of fifths and learn your other major keys and start to memorize those numbers. Play little mind games. Okay, we're in the key of G. What's the 6th chord? It's E minor. So that recollection will happen rapidly and immediately eventually, once you learn to think about keys numerically and how the numbers work. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 chords in the key. It's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. There's primary chords, 1, 4, 5, secondary chords, 2, 3, and 6. And then there's this guy called the leading tone, which is kind of T-do leading back into the tonic again. Okay, so stick around for the next lesson in the series. We're going to start taking a look at some of these chord progressions and how they work, and how we can take that and implement that into your playing and into your general understanding of the songs you may already know. Okay, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you got some value from it, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate supporting the channel. Hit that bell for notifications, and in the comment section down below you'll find things like my mailing list, original music, and I also teach guitar lessons as well. Okay, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you at the next lesson.